Have you ever noticed how when you put on your gym clothes, your active wear, you feel more like, yeah, let's go, let's have a good workout? Or when you put on your comfy clothes, your pajamas, the clothes you like to just bum around the house in, you just feel more relaxed and floaty. This is because of the associations that you've made with those things. Now, you and me, all of us, human beings, all make these strong associations, and we do this all the time, and we can do it without realizing, or we can do it intentionally. But they are very, very powerful. And learning not just the ones that you have that maybe aren't good associations for you, and knowing what they are and changing them, but also being able to proactively make associations that benefit you, that put you into certain states of being, so powerful, so incredibly helpful. And that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. And in particular, I'll be talking about the concept not just of the clothes that we wear. That's more to illustrate the point that you can feel, yeah, I do feel different when I do this or to wear those clothes. But I want to talk about functional separation of space. And this is really important, in particular for people with ADHD, really huge for people who work from home. And by the way, I'll just throw this out there that if you have ADHD, there's a good chance you've got quite a lot of overlap with some autistic traits, to say the least. And a good part of autism is that people make stronger associations. So these things are likely to affect us even more, which means it's so much more important for us to be getting on top of them. Best example, and the most common one that comes up in my coaching, my work with my ADHD clients, is the amount of people who like to just be in their bed when they're working, when they're watching TV, they do some study, they like to just hang out in their bed. And there's some data about whatever. This is a very, 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 very bad idea. Because yes, you may find that your bed becomes a place that, this is just my place, my happy place, I'm so productive there. Yeah, but can you sleep? Very likely not, because you'll be making associations with being in bed and being alert, doing things, having activities, doing tasks, or watching your shows. Oh wow, what's gonna happen next? You're alert, you're awake. That is not what a bed should be for, unless you don't like sleep, which is a stupid way to put it. Really, ideally, a bed would be for just sleep. And maybe some adult things, but even like theoretically just on a purely neuroscientific level, it's better for our sleep to not do this either. It's just a place for sleep. In exactly the same way, if you work from home, I would highly recommend, and you've probably discovered this before, but you have like an office or a space or just a desk, and that's where you work. Maybe you're a student and you study and you go and sit at that one desk, and that's where you study. Do not eat your meals there. Do not read the newspaper there, or read a book, or hang out, or scroll on your phone for fun. Do not do it at that location. Make that spot a work place, a workspace, that you have an association with working there. Not hanging out, not being relaxed, not having fun, focusing. And then go and sit at the dining room table, sit on the couch and eat and watch your show and relax there. This has many benefits. Not only does it mean that when you're sitting at that desk, you will be more switched on. In fact, if you do this, and you've probably had some experience of this, that if you've done this long enough and you've been diligent, you've separated those things, you only do that thing at that location. The second you sit at that desk, you might have been, and I sit down, ready to go. And that's great. And then you get up and you go and sit at the other table where you have your meal, or you go and sit on the couch to watch your show, and you're just like, And you can do that more easily than if your couch was also a place that you like to work and be productive. Now, these things compound over time. The more that you do them, the stronger the associations get in those particular places. very important. It's why a lot of my clients, I'm like, I kind of insist. I'm like, you must separate them if you want to fix your sleep up. I'm like, oh, but I'm so productive in bed. I'm like, yes, it's because you've made those associations there. In fact, that's the whole problem. We need to make, like, oh, but I don't study as well when I sit at my desk. Yeah, because you haven't put time in at the desk making associations of that being a place of focused application of will and effort. If you do that, the desk can become a place where you're able to access that state. And then the bed stops being a place where you go, time to get into bed, it's so cozy, let's be awake and alert. It doesn't serve you. I get the attachment to it. Maybe it's nice, maybe it's the way you've always done it, but I would be remiss if I didn't just insist on how significant or how much of a big deal this can be. I understand to an extent, there's an element of privilege here. Like best case scenario, you'd have like an entire separate room for that activity. You've got a study room and then like a rumpus room, I guess you call them, living room, whatever, who knows? You might have like a special place that you might go and do like a workout. That's like your training area. You may not have that luxury. You might have one big room and it's a communal space, and you might have housemates and you share, and you have to do a little bit of exercise here, and you've got a little desk over there, but you have to share. But do the best that you can. Even if you have one table you have to share with other people and that's where you have to work, separate it and try to make it as clear to yourself, more than anything, but yourself and to other people, that that's your zone of work or whatever it happens to be. Or crafting or sewing or whatever, but it has a spot. That's where you do that thing. Cannot emphasize enough how useful this is. Final element of this that I'll throw in there just while I'm at it, because sleep is so important. Sleep is such a big one for this. Now, if we now begin to realize that a bed is a place that we want to begin and continue to make and reinforce associations of sleeping and rest, if you happen to wake up in the middle of the night, and this is general advice, but in general, if you happen to wake up, you're fast asleep in 3 a.m., you're super alert, you are generally better to get up, get out of bed, move around and do things until you're ready and go, okay, I'm tired, time to go back to bed. I'm not saying do really stimulating stuff, but just get out of bed and do calm, gentle things elsewhere until you feel ready to settle down and go back. Because when you're lying there wide awake going, 3 a.m., I'm so alert, but I have to go to sleep. But I'm going to ruin my sleep schedule, and I'll be so tired tomorrow. All that stress, all that anxiety, you do not want to be making those associations with having your head on the pillow and feeling those feelings. Because it will just mean that the next time you go on the bed, part of you will be like, oh yeah, bed, that's a place we sleep and worry. Let's do both. We don't want that. Separate. Functional separation will help you so much. So many applications of this, associations, so strong, so useful, and they are affecting you. You are being influenced by these things, whether you realize it or not. If you go to a meeting and you put on your suit and you have a Zoom call from home or whatever, you put on your suit, full suit, and then you're really dressed up, you will be more switched on. I'm sure you know this. And if you put on your pajama, your PJ bottoms, and you're kind of daggy, but you put on a shirt on top, but you're a bit different. You're not all the way there, and you'll feel that. I'm sure that you've had this sensation, at least if you've been paying attention. It's just me trying to illustrate the point that you are already being influenced by these things, so you may as well lean into it and do it very intentionally, very deliberately, and identify and then create associations that really do serve you. Okay, I have truly made this point more than enough now. Thank you. Thanks for sticking around this far. If you have, I really, really, really appreciate it. So clearly something has resonated. If so, I would highly, highly recommend, for your sake, you write that down either in the comments. Good for me, then I know what's resonating. I can tailor more content to you. Or just write that down, take 30 seconds. scribble a few key takeaways on a piece of paper or a journal, whatever, so that you have something that you can take from this video that you can try, practice, and that might really serve you. It's going to help you a lot if you take the time now to do that. If you'd like to see more videos like this, I make a new video on a new subject every single day. So if you want to see what I talk about tomorrow, if you found this useful, hit subscribe if you want, so you can see that too. And if you have a friend who might benefit, share this around. I'm just trying to give as much valuable content as I can to everyone that I possibly can, with no expectation. I just know this helps people. It helps me. I want you to have it. I want as many people to have it as they can. So if you can get that out there, that might be good for people. That's the whole point. Okay. Thank you for your time. See you when I see you.